Yo, I woke up this morning with a dream to change the world. Just wanna bring a smile to every boy and every girl. Can't do it by myself, on my own and all alone. The world needs changing now, so let's all get in the zone. Every woman, every man, come and join me, lend a hand. It's time to step it up and lead our children to the promised land. The golden age of unity, of freedom and equality. Peace on earth is possible, just need a new mentality. Open up your heart and open up your mind. Open up your spirit and guess what you will find. Instead of us versus them, always focused on the enemy, you'll see that your enemy is just like you and me. The world is one country and mankind is citizens. Time to come together, y'all, all 7 billion. Turn war into peace, turn hate into love. Turn your frown into a smile, go give somebody a hug.
I can, you can.
We can change the world.
I can, you can.
We can change the world.
I can, you can.
We can change the world.
I can, you can.
We can change the world.
Open up your hearts and mind and face reality. 'Cause there is some good within you called peace and harmony.
Look inside yourself.
So see me as your brother.
See me as your brother.
Or your sister. I'll move your mountain and you move my mountain. 'Cause a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
Yeah.
Africa no says one hand can tie a rope. Let's unite and see the world change from good to best. And put a smile on the face of mankind as we say, I can and you can.
We can change the world.
I can, you can.
We can change the world.
I can, you can.
We can change the world.
I can, you can.
We can change the world. So do unto others as you'd have done to you. 'Cause change in the world starts with the golden rule. We gotta celebrate diversity and show love universally. 'Cause everyone on earth is part of one community. Black.
Hi, I'm Mr. Rendelet.
And I'm Mr. Canny.
And we're here to tell you about the Crossroads program, an option you'll have for 6th grade at Radnor Middle School.
And after this, you're going to see a video. It'll give you some specific detail about Crossroads, and we hope that it'll help you make a decision.
So what is Crossroads? Crossroads is the integrated program in 6th grade at Radnor Middle School. We're lucky enough at RMS to have integrated programs at every grade level. But in 6th grade, Crossroads combines the study of language arts, social studies, which in this case is geography, and science, which is earth science in 6th grade. And we combine those studies around our theme, which is culture.
So the way Crossroads works is really pretty simple. Those 40 students who were selected in the lottery become the Crossroads team, and we work together 4 out of 9 periods in the Crossroads room. We don't have separate language arts, social studies, or science, so that's what those Crossroads periods are for. And then you will have separate classes for math, and of course your electives and encore classes, and we can't forget about lunch.
What do we learn in Crossroads? Well, we study the same skills and content that are in the regular language arts, science, and social studies classes in the 6th grade. However, we study them through 4 levels of culture. We begin the year with a 4-week unit on culture of family. Then we spend about 6 weeks looking at culture of community. From there, all the way up to winter break, we study culture of the United States. And finally, from January through the end of the school year, we study various cultures throughout the world.
So now that you know what we learn, how do we learn it? Well, as much as possible, we try to focus things on our themes of community and culture. Sometimes we have to take a little time out with a science topic, but for the most part, there is some type of connection, either literal or metaphorical, that we can make to community and culture. You'll be working in groups a lot, but there's also a lot of individual responsibilities within those groups. As no matter whether it's individual or working together as a group, we really try to emphasize the idea of collaborative over competitive. Therefore, we really try to encourage people to help each other, work with each other to a common goal. We also have a little bit more emphasis on writing because we don't often use tests or quizzes.
One of the biggest differences between Crossroads and the regular sixth grade is that in Crossroads, you're never going to get a letter grade for science, social studies, or language arts. So that leaves us with the big question: how in the world are you going to know how you're performing in our class? Well, the most important way that we'll do that is through self assessments, which occur 6 times per year. You yourself, the student, will complete a self assessment of your work for that period of time. You'll go through all of your work, rate yourself in various areas, and add your own comments. Then the teachers take that document and we review it, add our own comments and thoughts about your performance. And finally, you take that document home, share it with your parents, review it with them, and they add their comments as well. We also have conferences with parents in Crossroads. We do that 2 different ways. In November, you, the student, will prepare for a conference where you lead the conference with your parents. You'll review all your work up to that point and share it with your parents and let them see how you've performed. Then, midway through the year, we have a more traditional parent teacher conference where just the teachers meet with the parents to let them know how you're doing. At the end of the year, we provide your family with a written document, an evaluation of all your work throughout the year. It includes lots of rubrics and narrative comments. The final way the Crossroads students are evaluated is not by their teachers, but by their parents and family members at our evening expositions. At these events, one midway through the year and the other at the end, students, parents, and other interested family members spend an evening at RMS for a series of student presentations. These give an overview of everything we learned in Crossroads over that half of the school year.
So here's a look at a sixth grade schedule compared to Crossroads. You can see they're almost identical. The regular sixth grade schedule has language arts, social studies, and science. We just have Crossroads in there. Crossroads will be there for those 2, 3, and 6 period. That's when we do our social studies, language arts, and science. The rest of the schedule really you share with the rest of the sixth grade. HMS, where band, orchestra, and chorus take place. Your first period encore, phys ed, facts, tech ed. Fourth period encore, lunch. Those are all shared with other sixth graders, and you'll be with other sixth graders besides your Crossroads classmates. That last period, well, seventh period is math. Everybody in Crossroads has math seventh period. And then that last period that's called ELT, that can range from either Crossroads or math. So 3 out of 4 days, you'll be a Crossroads period, and then the other day will be a math period.
Now we want to address a few of the common concerns that students typically have about Crossroads. The first is that students worry that they won't see their friends who are on the other teams. While you will be spending your core classes with Crossroads students, during the rest of the day, you will be mixed up with other teams in your specials classes as well as at lunch. And it's also important to keep in mind that even if you are on the red, blue, or yellow team, you may very well not see any of your friends on those teams either. Even if they're on the same team, they're often in different classes. Another common concern is that you don't change classes at all. And that's not true. You'll actually change class 7 times each day if you're in Crossroads. Other sixth graders change class 8 times per day. We just have one block that is a double block. Sometimes, to be fair, you will have math with one of your Crossroads teachers in the same room, but that depends on a lot of other factors. Another concern is about the integrated programs in 7th and 8th grade, watershed soundings and gateways. If you are in Crossroads, you have the same chance of getting into those programs as anyone else. The other thing I need to point out to you is on the Crossroads website, we have lots of frequently asked questions there, and we think that could be a good place for you to get even more information and answer many other questions that you might have.
So now that you've heard a lot about Crossroads, you might be wondering, is it right for you? We have some ideas as to what makes somebody Crossroads compatible. And the first is working in groups. We do a lot of group work. So if you're someone who already has good skills at that, Crossroads might be a great fit. If you're somebody who wants to learn how to work better in a group, that also works well as long as you're willing to make that a goal. So you might be somebody who always needs to be in charge of a project, or maybe you're somebody who sits back and lets other people do the work. Uh, Both of those things would be things you could work on in Crossroads, as long as you're willing to do that. Digging deeper and some independence in learning. When we're doing country studies or culture studies, you might have an interest in, let's say, music or art, and you want to explore more deeply the types of music and art that are part of that culture. This gives you the opportunity to do it. Also, because we have more time together, we can dedicate time and reorganize things so that people have a chance to really delve into a topic. You like to demonstrate your learning in ways other than tests or quizzes. We do a lot of projects, a lot of presentations, some writing. So if that sounds more interesting to you than just taking a test or a quiz, Crossroads could be a good fit. We also want to make sure that you have at least some interest in the idea of communities and cultures, and how you fit into them and how the whole world kind of fits together. If you have some interest in learning about other cultures, then obviously Crossroads could be a good fit. I think our number one thing is that students aren't motivated by A, B, C. Like if the only reason you do something is to get an A or not to get a C or an F, then this might not be the best place, because you're never going to get that grade. We're never going to give you a B or an A or a C. You're just going to get a lot of feedback from us in the forms of rubrics and narrative comments. So that's something to consider if seeing the grade at the top of the paper is something that's extremely important to you. We do like to emphasize that we feel there are very, very few exceptions where Crossroads isn't a good fit. Just about everybody can do well in Crossroads and can fit into Crossroads. But we do like you to consider some of those things when you're making your decision.
So, what comes next? Well, it's time for you to decide whether or not you want to be placed into the lottery to be in Crossroads next year. This is how you can do it. First of all, please have a discussion with your parents. This is a decision that needs to be made collectively. You may also want to ask your teachers if they think you're a good fit for this kind of program. Then we ask you to investigate even further. Please go to the Crossroads website at Radnor Middle School. There are all kinds of frequently asked questions there, and their answers are provided. Anything we didn't say in this presentation is likely going to be found there. And finally, it's time to make the decision. An online form is going to be available to you beginning Monday, May 1st. That form needs to be completed by you with a parent by Monday, May 8th. Soon after that, the lottery will be run on Wednesday the 10th, and students and their families should know whether or not they were selected by May 12th. After that, we'll have a post-lottery meeting for parents and students who were selected, as well as the first few alternates. And then final decisions must be made by May 26th. And before we sign off, there's one more really important thing we need to tell you. No matter whether you decide Crossroads is right for you or not, you are going to have a wonderful time in 6th grade. We and all the 6th grade teachers are looking forward to seeing you every day next year.
Open up your heart and open up your mind. Open up your spirit, and guess what you will find? Instead of us versus them, always focused on the enemy, you'll see that your enemy is just like you and me. The world is one country and mankind is citizens. Time to come together, y'all, all 7 billion. Turn war into peace, turn hate into love. Turn your frown into a smile, go give somebody a hug.
I can, you can.
We can change the world.